Hi Scorpio, I have a message for you. We're just going to get into it. We're going to look at a few different things, starting with what is currently on your mind, what is the issue that you're dealing with, and getting to what advice Spirit has for you. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dawn. Thank you for being here. So let's see what the current problem is. Interesting. Mimicry. Okay, so Scorpio, you have mimicry and it's clarified by the Fool. Now, this is interesting because I feel like you have started over on something or started fresh on something. There's some type of beginning. Now, it's almost like, so years and years ago, when I first started teaching yoga, so I taught nearly 20 years. And one of the things that my teacher at that time said to me was just copy the teacher, copy the teacher. That's all you can do until you figure out your own voice, your own style, your own path, your own way. And this is something about not only starting fresh, but also having this challenge of having to find your own voice within this field, this path, this dharma, which is your spiritual responsibility, something that unfolds in front of you. So let's see if we can get a little bit more about this. The Page of Swords, yeah. Finding your own communication style. Finding your blueprint, your thumbprint is what I'm hearing. Okay, so Scorpio, this is not a relationship reading. This is definitely a life path reading. So if that's something that you are currently moving through, if this is something where you're finding your voice, you're finding your own footing, you're finding your path within your field that is unfolding, then this message is definitely for you. There's a lot of threes. So it was just 3 o'clock. It was just 3 minutes. We also have this 30, which reduces to a 3. So this is really about, Spirit is asking you for cooperation. It seems like, Scorpio, you're going a little bit outside of yourself. You know how I said that my teacher told me to just copy the teacher, copy the teacher? It seems like maybe it is time to stop copying the teacher. It's time for your voice to start to emerge. Okay, so let's take a look at what you're not seeing, what's hidden. So sometimes I do have love readings coming in. I also get readings about outside energies. This is about your path, and this is mostly, I would say, what comes through for me as a reader is your guides giving me information to help keep you on your path with the least amount of challenge. Okay, so let's see what you're not seeing. Adventure, south, and depth on the bottom. I'm hearing this as a confirmation for some of you. Adventure, south. But what I'm really getting the feeling of is in order to access this path. So I do a lot of lectures and readings for a smaller group of people on Patreon. So by the way, you can always join us there. But what I'm getting here is a message that I got for that group about 6 months ago. And the image was that of you being on a horse with a sword, and you're moving forward on your dharmic path. And what's interesting about it is every time you stop, the road in front of you stops forming. So essentially, it was the message that Spirit wanted you to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and therefore your path will unfold. But if you pull back and you need things to be guaranteed or less complicated, then the path in front of you also halts as well. So this is something about part of finding your own voice is having the strength and determination to just keep moving forward regardless, right? Okay, let's look at that. Yes, movement forward, the 8 of Wands. Thank you. It's really what you don't see is that when you stop moving forward, the path in front of you starts to halt, starts to react to your energy. So you're moving into this new sense of self, but it has to be through Shraddha or through faith, active faith. So, you know, I lecture mostly on yoga philosophy, mysticism, those type of things. And the difference between Shraddha and faith, which is the best translation I can really come up with, is Shraddha is active faith. It's not just prayer. It's not just asking and waiting. Shraddha is putting your foot to, wow, what is that song I'm hearing? Hang tight, Scorpio. I believe it's Nose to the Grindstone is the song I'm hearing. So there may be a message in there for you. Spirit is asking me to grab you a chakra card to help clarify what you don't see. So that's interesting. Haven't done that before. Yeah, Nose to the Grindstone. There may be a message in that song for you. The crown chakra. The crown chakra is our connection to our higher selves, to source. Everything that happens in the manifest is Prakriti, and this is our connection to Purusha, to that which is perfect, whole, and complete. And Spirit wants you to learn that connection through action. The Page of Wands. If you've halted on your progress, that was a mistake. Don't halt on your progress. Keep moving forward in the everyday. One more on that, and then we'll move to something else. 10 of Cups. I'm getting two different, oh, I've never seen that before. Okay, listen. Two different 5 of Swords on the bottom. It's like you are stealing your own happiness, but I'm also being asked to remind you that Spirit's always going to want you to move forward, to continue to learn and continue to grow. So it's almost like you see this new life path, this dharmic path, this career or something similar unfolding, this project unfolding in front of you that wants to come forth. But at the same time, Spirit's asking you to remember that even once that unfolds, even once you get that happiness, that complete feeling of finding your dharmic path, that after the 10 of Cups starts a new journey again, a new unfoldment. So back to Shraddha, active faith, active determination, actively moving forward. Okay, next, what can be learned? Let's see what can be learned here. All right, I feel like it's Shraddha, but let's see what else comes up, right? What can be learned? Creativity, and it's coming up in the reverse. So I'm getting and physical activity in the reverse. So really what that means to me is, again, Spirit is saying everything halts when you halt. If you don't move forward, this creativity, this project 10 exactly just came up. That is the end of a cycle and the beginning of something new. Spirit is saying to you that your unfoldment, your life lessons come in your growth, in your forward movement. And I'm really being asked to remind you that happiness never comes in the future. It can only be experienced now in the present. And that's why it's so important to be active within your creating, within your work. Let's get one more on that. What can be learned? Okay, interesting. This is a disaster. What does that mean? Everything's a message. Whatever this creative project is really going to bring a lot of freedom from whatever this is that feels like it has to be good before it's released. That will bring you the freedom to move forward. That might have been the message for that, huh? There's this new beginning sense again, right? Blessings and flexibility. So Spirit is really saying that the forward movement, the road will emerge below the hoofs, right, of that horse with you riding forward on it as you move forward. But you really must learn some flexibility, meaning, people always say something like, wow, they're an overnight success, which is almost never true. There's always a decade or two of work behind that. So there's something about moving forward on this new persona, this new creative project, you're finding your new voice. There's going to be some challenges. Some things are not going to work out. If you're starting a brand, if you're starting a business, if you're starting a product line, the first 3 or 4 may not work out, so you can tailor that experience, having more flexibility and creating what really needs to be created. But there's not going to be no trial and error. It has to be there, 1313 now. So there's something about transforming not only your voice, the way that you're going to move forward on these creative projects, but at the same time, transforming the way you see what defines success. I'm going to tell you a story real quick, Scorpio, as I pull a little more information for you. But, I have this friend. She's been a friend of mine for many years. And the last time I saw her, which has been probably 8 years ago, I wanted to take her out to like a happy hour to get out of the house, to have a drink, have some food, whatever it may be. And she told me she was having trouble going out, and part of the reason she was having trouble going out is because she thought everybody was watching her or looking at her. When she'd walk into the restaurant, people would judge her. And not that I think that's happening to you, Scorpio. I think you're probably having a fine time going out. You tend to. However, there's something about understanding that people are mostly concerned about themselves. They're not concerned about you as much. So, not in a rude way, but at the same time, it's okay to make some mistakes and find your voice, Like nobody cares as much as you do. Nobody cares as much as you think. So make these mistakes in the beginning to find your true voice, to find your path. Like nobody's looking, it's okay. That's what I'm getting. Okay, where can you find support? Okay, so where can you find support? Basically, this feels like the Four of Swords. Pratyahara, sense withdraw, pull into the self. Also taking care of the self, the body. There should be a balance in anything. So what I'm feeling a lot is if you're doing a lot of physical activity, you might need to bring in, not that it can't be in the body. Let's say you're doing a lot of Ashtanga or Vinyasa. You have to bring in some yin and restorative. Also, connection with the higher self. The higher self wants balance. The higher self doesn't need a handstand. It needs for you to grow out of these wounds of the past and find your own voice in order to move forward. I hope this makes sense. But basically, so if you don't practice asana, if you don't exercise a lot, if this isn't making sense to you, basically the overview of this is Spirit wants you to be balanced. It cannot be all or nothing. There has to be giving, then there has to be receiving. There has to be action, then there has to be contemplation. There needs to be the balance of those. That's the flexibility Spirit wants you to bring in. Okay. Any advice from Spirit? Let's get any advice. I hope this was helpful for y'all, Scorpio. Remember, this could be Sun, Moon, Rising, or even Venus. Yeah, Spirit's really asking you to make a plan and stick to a plan. Where do you see yourself? What do you want to create? But not only that, but put the action behind it, right? Spirit is saying take action. And it's interesting because then comes in the Four of Swords, which is like pull back, remove yourself. But this doesn't mean take action towards others. This means take action on this new unfoldment. To use Shraddha, to use faith as you move forward. Okay, last card, Scorpio. Any advice in the animal realm? Intuitive. Exactly, the loon. This is exactly where Spirit's trying to get your focus. Not on those external of yourself, but on merging into the sense of listening to your higher self and using your intuition. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Literally what this was saying. Beautiful. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Yes, this unique viewpoint is starting to unfold. So Spirit wants you to have active faith behind that, called Shraddha. I hope this was helpful, Scorpio. Love y'all.